need to know. Like I said before, let's talk about the ethics of a tournament organizer, a TO.
Okay.
I want you to start off by telling me what are the things that a TO are supposed to do. What are their roles and what are their responsibilities?
From the start?
However you please.
Okay. Well, do you want like the process of how to plan a tournament?
Can you make it short?
Okay, well, the first thing you want to do... Okay, we can get right into this. First thing you want to do is, obviously, scout a venue. That's what you want to know. You want to make sure it's comfortable for your players, and you also want to like check out the staff, make sure they're cool. Something you could do is stay the night at the hotel you're looking at and don't tell anybody you're staying there, and to see how the staff treats you. Second thing, pick your dates wisely, and this is a huge problem, although it's not as much of a problem now. But a couple of years ago, when there was, even last year, it was like 15, 16 majors going on, and some of them were on like the same weekend as each other, and it's because people assume that, oh, just because I'm in this area, I can do it on the same date as this tournament, and that causes a lot of problems because it's a huge conflict for players. Then players have to choose, where do I go? And then you also start ticking off the other tournament organizers, because it's like, well, you may be new to this community, but you can't just jump in and conflict dates, because then that hurts their tournament, because the players are in a conflict. The other thing is you have a lot of tournaments. It doesn't really happen as often as it used to, but you had a lot of tournaments that would come in with a lot of money and say, okay, we're going to have this $50,000 prize pot. And then the tournament is run like garbage because they have no idea what they're doing. They never ask for any help from any of the other tournament organizers, and then it fails. And then they wonder, why does this fail? However, the real problem with that is just say that that's like Joe Schmo's first tournament ever. They have the worst experience of their life. Everything's super delayed. The prizes never get paid out. Yada yada yada. Yeah, then they're never gonna want to go to another tournament again. Like, oh, the fighting community sucks. It's just like what you see printed on Kotaku. Like when Joe had the Brazzers thing. Like they print that shit on Kotaku saying, top fighting game player is now going to be sponsored by a porno company. It's like, okay, well, you want to print that, but have it all the cancer drives we run. I ran one for a friend 2 months ago, raised like $5,000 for the kid. They only print what they want. That's just journalism in general. Let's see, as far as ethics, not being too full of yourself is really important, because then you start alienating yourself hardcore, and there are a few organizers in the community who do that to themselves all the time. The other thing is, like, just be like a real human, you know what I mean? Like, don't be an asshole. Like, yeah, okay, we all have egos, but we've all earned them. Like, we all started from the bottom. Excuse me. I hate to quote Drake, but like, I don't even listen to rap. But like, we all started from local communities. You know what I mean? Like, I started on Long Island, running the Long Island Third Strike scene. Dude, we built that shit in my friend's backyard, and it grew from my friend's backyard to a small arcade to ECT. And because of that progression, I have friends that don't come to tournaments, but they come to ECT to help us out because they've been working with us since the start. And that's really important to have like a great foundation. And that's something that most, I shouldn't say most, but like I said, like last year, 2 years ago, there were a lot of tournaments that just came out of nowhere. Those are the ones that failed because they had no prior experience. They figured, okay, 150-man tournament isn't anything. Dude, try to run a 150-man tournament by yourself. It's fucking impossible. I tried it at ECT1, and it sucked. I had a heart attack, literal heart attack. So just communication is really key, but it's whether or not you have to choose to communicate to people, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people like make backdoor deals with other TOs, leave others out, and it sucks. But you can't really do much about it. You just got to keep allowing things to grow organically, and you can't force things. And that's where I feel like Fun Around and Biggie Gaming and ECT succeed, because we've been doing this shit since the beginning, like of our own careers in our own small environments. And things just got bigger and bigger because of our reputations, and people come to our tournaments because they know it's going to be a good time. They know we know how to run it. Dude, look at Fun Around. Shit just ended at 8:30 at night on a Sunday. That has never happened before. Like, come on. Like, we obviously know what we're doing, but a lot of TOs don't, like, really have that. They just kind of either picked it up from where a tournament failed, and then they kept it going because they have a lot of money, or, I don't know, they just, like, ride on the coattails of others. And that's a big problem, but that's something that we're necessarily, like, going and trying to be superheroes to stop, but we'll just keep doing hours, and, that's why we now have the Fall Classic, because me, Joe, Eric, and Larry have been doing it, the same way for so long. We all started, like you guys started in your house, in Larry's house, running final round. Eric started in University Pinball. We started in Castle Golf and Chinatown Fair. We know, like, how to get people to tournaments. People like working with us and working for us because we're good people. And, like, I'm not saying that to, like, inflate my own ego, but we are good people. You never see us super pissed off at anything. We're always, like, talking to random people just because, we like to make sure everybody's having a good time. And that's another really important thing is, like, just walk around any tournament and ask people, you having a good time? Everything all right? What do you need? Like, what could we do to make this better? Don't be afraid to ask people for feedback because, yeah, it could suck, or somebody could have some amazing idea. Like, oh, maybe you should try to do it like this. And then sure enough, like, damn, that's your scheduling issue right there. Like, oh, that would save us 2 hours of time. But as far as ethics go, it's tough because when you want people to work together, you have to have, like, the same ideas. And not only the same ideas, but the same ideals and the same values. Otherwise, you have conflict. And, like, conflict is good in ways, but only if you're willing and you choose to work through it. Like, when me, Joe, Eric, and Larry first started working together, like, they call me a Nazi. Because I'm an attention whore. Like, I'm not an attention whore, but, like, I pay too much attention to detail. And, like, I work out in my head, like, all these contingencies of, well, if I'm like Mass Effect, my brain works like Mass Effect. If I make this decision, it's going to change the whole course of humanity or some shit.
Right.
But, like, Joe's not necessarily like that. Eric and Larry aren't necessarily like that. And they, like, at first they were kind of, like, put off by, like, why does he always, like, not necessarily argue with everything, but, like, why does he always try to disprove something? And I just like to show people the different outcomes of different decisions. This way you can choose the best one. And that's how we operate ECT. But then you have other tournament organizers who aren't like that. And who are really just out for their own and aren't out for the community. They just want to make sure they're in the spotlight and they're doing what's, like, making them more popular. We don't care. Like, yeah, I like doing interviews and stuff, but, like, I really don't care if people know me for ECT as long as they know what ECT is. And they want to keep coming as long as people know what Final Round is, as long as people know what NEC, Winter Bowl, and Summer Jam are. They come to our tournaments to have a good time, not because it's us. I mean, yeah, our reputations do fuel that because they know it's going to be a good time and they know it's going to be a good tournament. But it's really, we're trying to make the tournaments more popular, not necessarily ourselves. And certain people can't make that distinction. So that's like that would be probably like the main ethic problem, is people trying to inflate their own egos instead of bettering their tournaments for the players that are paying to be there.
That's a very awesome answer. And for one thing, I think I realized you probably love tactics, don't you? Like Final Fantasy Tactics.
I hate tactic games.
Why do you hate them? That's like
They're
your whole.
just slow.
Turn off active battle. You should turn on active battle, then you'd love it.
I just don't like games where where moving takes a turn.
Yeah, just exactly. You should turn off you should turn on active battle where you have to do it regardless of what they're doing.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Shit, maybe I'll play it. Can you do that in Final Fantasy Tactics?
No. Before you do that, you should play Faster Than Light. And you can pause it, but don't do that. Just play it. When shit happens, just play it.
Do you play Dark Souls?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes.
Dark Souls is crack, dude. Like, that's a game that I like.
I play Monster Hunter more because, like, once you're out there.
Japanese people are fucking crazy. Like, yeah. I know you're not Japanese, but that is legit crack in Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, actually, somebody should kill her downstairs and we fucking done so we get